15 years ago, if you would have told a skater that in the very near future, New Balance would be one of the biggest brands in the skate shoe industry, they'd probably laugh in your face and skate off down the street saying, "You mean that whack brand that your grandpa wears?" But the near future is here, and New Balance's dominant position in the current skate shoe industry is very real. With a full line of skate shoes that you'll find in any skate park across the nation, and one of the dopest teams in skateboarding right now, New Balance is now firmly entrenched in skate culture. And that's crazy because when I was a young little skate rat, dude, New Balances, if you were rocking New Balances, that was super whack. New Balance as a whole has gotten a lot more popular in the sneakerhead world in the last few years, but the brand's rise in the skate community is even more impressive considering they started making skate shoes just over a decade ago. So how did it happen? Let's get into the full story of why New Balance's Numeric line has quickly become one of the biggest and most respected names in the skate shoe biz. Before we get into the skate shoes, let's cover a brief history of New Balance. The brand was founded as the New Balance Arch Support Company in 1906 by William J. Riley, an Irish immigrant who lived in Boston, Massachusetts, where the brand is still headquartered to this day. Back then, New Balance only manufactured arch supports for existing shoes. They didn't make their own shoes, they didn't make their own footwear. The business was focused on selling arch supports to workers whose jobs required them to stand up for long periods of time. So it was like the early 1900s, so guys like John and Williams with like the thick mustaches, their feet was killing them, so they needed some kind of arch support, and that's what New Balance was back then. But then in 1956, Riley sold his company to his daughter and her husband, Eleanor and Paul Kidd, and they soon started making their own actual footwear. The first New Balance shoe was called the Trackster, and it debuted in 1961. The shoe was considered a success, but the company remained small and only had a few employees and only a few models until 1972 when the brand was purchased by Jim Davis. Davis, who is now a billionaire and still the current chairman of New Balance, transformed New Balance into the brand that we know and love today, which is, I mean, one of the most respected brands in the industry. And if you've owned a pair of New Balance, you know that they have like super high quality suedes on them and they're super comfortable. He's responsible for building that image for the brand. I mean, him and his thousands of employees all around the world, but he's the one who got to be a millionaire, yeah. Through those transformative years, they've obviously had tons of hits, right? I mean, think of like the 990 line, the 990 V1, V2, V3. They're super iconic, and retroing those shoes is a significant part of their business and the aspect of the brand that sneakerheads are most familiar with. In fact, these retro New Balance shoes have gained a lot of popularity in recent years thanks to the Y2K era sneaker trend. You know those hideous looking like early 2000s running shoes that everybody's wearing right now? Like the super shiny, crazy looking ones? Well, they are reeling it in right now. New Balance is making so much money off sneakerheads and sneaker culture. I mean, but they also, of course, have their 990 line, the 998s, the 1500s. They have tons of classic models. You know, they have the Made in USA, Made in UK stuff. Like right now, New Balance is like hitting their apex within sneaker culture. So yeah, New Balance's running heritage is deep. And in recent years, they've also made significant gains in the baseball and basketball footwear markets, signing athletes like Jamal Murray, Kawhi Leonard, and of course, everybody knows Shohei Ohtani. But one thing New Balance never had in all of their years in producing athletic footwear was a skateboarding shoe line. And unlike other brands like Nike and Adidas and Puma, those brands already had like shoes that skaters used back in the day before there was even skate shoes, like the Puma Clydes, the Jordan 1s. New Balance never had that. They never had a model intended for skateboarding. And when you consider all that, it seems even more impressive that New Balance so quickly established themselves in the skateboarding industry. New Balance officially entered the skate industry in 2013 with its line named New Balance Numeric. To keep it short, for the logo they put NB with the hashtag. But when New Balance started Numeric, the brand actually wasn't responsible for manufacturing their own shoes at first. Numeric started as a brand that was licensed through veteran skate distribution brands like Black Box and Westlife. Black Box is a company that was founded by the legendary skateboarder Jamie Thomas, and they distributed, a few core skate brands, including Zero Skateboards, Mystery Skateboards, and it got brought back, Fallen's skate shoes. It was defunct for a while. Anyways, Black Box Distribution was in charge of manufacturing, marketing, and distributing the New Balance Numeric footwear line. And then Westlife, they would help with the design and the creative direction of New Balance Numeric. This was New Balance's smart and sneaky way of breaking into the industry by pairing with some of the most respected, distributors in the skateboarding industry. But in 2015, New Balance decided to end the distribution deal and started to bring everything in-house. Well, sort of in-house. The Numeric brand located their corporate office in Long Beach, California, which if you're a skater, especially if you're a skater who lives in LA like me, you know that Long Beach is kind of like, there's so many skateboarders in Long Beach, it's kind of crazy. So very strategically, New Balance decided to headquarter their skate line there as opposed to, their original headquarters in Boston. So they're strategically positioned to break into the skateboarding industry already just by doing that. A major aspect to how Numeric has been able to enjoy such quick success is that the company has the right people running it. Everybody that works in the Numeric office has a history of working in and around skateboarding. One thing that skateboarders can sort of, point out quickly is a fake, a poser, somebody who's inauthentic. And if a new skateboard brand appears and it's run by people that aren't part of the culture, skaters are going to be able to tell pretty quickly and not support the brand. But New Balance has put an emphasis on hiring people that love skateboarding, and the results are pretty clear. Enter Sebastian Palmer, the general manager for New Balance Numeric. In the skate industry, the general manager of a brand is basically like a captain. Sometimes they're referred to as TMs, like team managers, but they could be doing anything from like overseeing a new product line to, budgeting the next skate trip or the next video. Another important employee at Numeric that has contributed to the success of the brand is their lead shoe designer, Jeff Meecut. I hope I'm saying his name right. I think it's Jeff Meecut or Meecut. Anyways, he's a veteran of the skate shoe industry. He's designed for Vans, Lakai, and he's a skate rat himself, so it's a perfect fit. He's designed many of the brand's models to date and works closely with the pro riders to perfect each signature shoe down to the exact details requested by the skaters. He even skates in the shoes himself, during the design process so that he can pick up on things that he might have missed so that he can get the model as perfect as possible. Apparently, he even busted out a couple of ollies for some of the factory workers at the New Balance factory in Indonesia so that they could understand why skaters were going through their shoes so fast. Obviously because the shoe's, grinding on the grip tape and it's wearing out quickly. Anyways, his expert and knowledge and love for skating and skate shoe design clearly comes through in his work, and it makes New Balance Numeric that much better. So the shoes are designed by skaters for skaters. Each Numeric model is meticulously crafted to offer the best comfort, support, and durability possible. And if you've ever skated in a pair, you can tell they're very well-made skate shoes. But here's the thing, New Balance Numeric definitely hasn't tried to reinvent the wheel when it comes to their skate shoe designs. And that's a good thing, because skaters don't want a lot of bells and whistles on their skate shoes. For the most part, skaters these days, they just want comfort, something that's gonna last a long time and look good on a skateboard when you're skating. And that's exactly what you get with Numeric. Yeah, if you look at the New Balance Numeric line in its entirety, most of it has a really classic look, and that's because they've pretty much stuck to tried and true skate shoe materials like suede, leather, and mesh. But the big thing that I feel makes it look more like, a coherent skate shoe brand is the use of vulcanized and cup soles. And if you're not that familiar with skate shoes, basically any good skate shoe that's ever existed either has a vulcanized or cup sole. One big advantage that Numeric has had over other startup skate shoe brands or even other more established skate shoe brands in the industry is that New Balance has decades of technological and innovative research and development. Numeric skate shoes might look simple and classic, but underneath all of that, it's actually a very innovative and great performing skate shoe. And that's thanks to the use of New Balance's best cushioning technologies like Absorb and Fuel Cell, two cushioning foams that are also used in the brand high performance shoes for running, basketball, and other sports. So upon a first glance at a Numeric shoe, it's going to look like just about any other classic skate shoe, but most of the models actually have soles packed with high-tech foam to help cushion and protect skaters' feet. New Balance Numeric may have one of the world's biggest athletic shoe brands backing it with their decades of product development and footwear technology, but if the final product, the shoe itself, isn't any good, skaters aren't going to wear it and the brand won't succeed. But like I mentioned earlier, they've luckily partnered with some really great skate shoe designers like Jeff Meecut, and skaters appreciate Numeric models for their clean looks, high quality materials, and under the hood, really good technology. Yeah, seems like New Balance has almost everything going for them. I mean, like, oh wait, one other thing. What about their carefully selected team of professional skaters? In skate culture, a brand is only as good as the professional skaters on its team. If the skaters on a skateboard brand are whack, nobody's gonna buy the boards. And the same is true for skate shoe brands. You've got to have some respected pros on your roster if you want to sell shoes. And the New Balance Numeric team is definitely stacked with some of the world's best skateboarders right now, including Tiago, Tom Knox, Jamie Foy, and Brandon Westgate, just to name a few of the guys that have signature models with Numeric. I mean, look no further than the last skate video they just dropped. It's called Intervals. It's like this cinematic skate video, except it only has 3 parts. There's only 3 skaters in the vid, and it's a heavy trio. It's Brandon Westgate, Tiago, and Skater of the Year, Jamie Foy. They all throw down for New Balance. It's a really beautiful skate video, and further cements New Balance into core skateboarding. But by far the brand's most important move was signing the legendary skater Andrew Reynolds to a shoe deal. Reynolds is one of the most respected skateboarders in the industry, and I mean, ever since he turned pro for Birdhouse in the 90s, he's been the shit. He's like he's one of the biggest stars in the industry. These days he's more of like an OG, so his signing holds that much weight, The boss. That's what skaters call him. That's what everybody calls him. He's the boss, and he owns Baker Skateboards, one of the gnarliest and most revered skate teams in the sport. If you don't know much about skateboarding, then you've probably played as him in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater at some point in your life. For years, Reynolds was the face of Emerica, a core skate shoe brand whose popularity peaked in the late 90s and early 2000s. The Reynolds 1 and all the other Reynolds that came out on Emerica are like insanely iconic in skateboarding culture. I think it was the Reynolds 3 came with like a little diamond that you put on the eyelids of the shoe. Yeah, he was the face of Emerica for a long time. But after wearing Emericas for nearly 2 decades, Reynolds and the brand parted ways in 2019. This was a huge deal at the time in the skateboarding world. You didn't think it was ever going to happen, and to see Reynolds skating in Vans, that was the brand he started wearing when he left Emerica. It was really weird. It's kind of like if LeBron left Nike and started wearing Adidas all of a sudden. After his short stint with Vans, Andrew Reynolds was officially introduced as a team rider on New Balance Numeric. He was a massive get for New Balance because one of the most respected names in skateboarding was now on the team. Any questions surrounding New Balance's legitimacy in the skateboarding industry was silenced. If the boss backs New Balance, then they must be the real deal. Now 46 years old, Andrew Reynolds is now seen as an elder of skate culture, an OG, triple OG, even though he's actually still out there ripping at a high level. But his quote-unquote old man status has in some ways made him the perfect fit for New Balance, since they're a brand known for their dad shoes. He just happens to be a lot cooler than the average dad. He's expected to have a signature shoe drop with New Balance this year in 2025. He's already had a special colorway drop of the 480, which is super fire. It's like this chocolate suede shoe. Bro, I wanted these so bad when they dropped. I even hit up like local skate shops here, but dude, they were so nice that they seeped into the sneakerhead world, and yeah, they sold out super quick, and now they're reselling for, I don't know how much right now, I gotta check. But as you can see, the Reynolds effect is real. But yeah, New Balance Numeric has quickly succeeded in the skate industry by being authentic to the skateboarding world and by, getting the shoes right. And the brand's choice to be available only at core skate shops is another thing that skateboarders really appreciate. All right, let me leave you with this really dope fact about New Balance Numeric that a lot of people don't know about. Like all New Balance shoes for any sport, the Numeric line uses numbers for the shoe's models, even the signature shoes. These numbers aren't random. There's actually a strategy behind the naming process. And it's actually a very handy way for skaters to know what each Numeric model will be like in terms of performance and board feel. The higher the number, the more technical the shoe is. For example, Tiago Lemo's 1010 model is the most technical skate shoe in the Numeric line, so it has the highest number, while Jamie Foy's 306 is a more simple shoe with a thin vulcanized sole. Brandon Westgate's 508 model falls about right in the middle, not super tech, but not super simple either. Now I'm left wondering what number would be assigned to the Osiris D3 if it was a New Balance shoe. It'd probably be like the Osiris D3000 or something. That shoe was wild. I had a pair when I was a kid. I had like a red and white pair. I loved it. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video. If you're gonna peace out, please subscribe. If not, I'll see you in that next video.